My name is Jacob Ellis, the distillery director at Fine Wines Incorporated. These are my colleagues John, Savannah, and Helen. And we will be brewing our own wine today. It's actually not wine, it's more of an alcoholic juice made from scratch. We will start off at first by taking a gallon of water. And pouring it into this pot. Now, the important thing to remember is that you have to have very sanitary equipment to use. Otherwise, there will be bacteria in your wine when it's finished. Now, once it's poured into here completely, you should turn on your oven. And until it has a nice boil. You boil it then for 22 minutes. That is another sanitation process. In situations where you don't have a lid, a pot or pan that can fit the pot will do just fine. Now my personal way of sanitizing both the pot, the jug itself, and this cup is with a little bit of detergent. Let that soak for a bit. Get it nice and clean, and then you do a little bleach water in it. The bleach is actually what sanitizes it, and that's what kills all the bacteria inside the jug. If you do have bacteria in it, there will be a large mold sheet basically on the top of your drink, and it looks really gross and you don't want to drink that. Now this is why it's not technically wine and it's more of an alcoholic juice. See, we're using juice concentrate. So when you buy the juice concentrate, make sure it says 100% juice. No additives, preservatives, that sort of thing, and so that's why it's not technically wine. We're not mashing grapes here. We're making a quick, easy way to make this wine. As you can see, the steam is coming out of the pot. That means it's boiling. Now you're gonna want to boil this for 22 minutes. After 22 minutes of this boiling, you're gonna want to take your lid or pan. And then this has to cool off, because if you don't cool it off, then you put it back into a glass or plastic container. If it's glass, the glass will shatter. If it's plastic, the plastic will melt. So we're going to power cool it, pop it right in the freezer here. Just found a real nice, tidy space for it. You just set her down. We'll wait a bit. Come back to her when she's cooled down. Alright, so before you pour the water back into the jug, you're going to want to take your two juice concentrates and pour them in. Alright, so then once the water is a little bit cooled down, you're going to want to pour in 2 cups of sugar. So there's cup 1. And there's cup number 2. The sugar is what mixes with the yeast, and the active yeast eats the alcohol. Eats the sugar, and that's what makes the alcohol. Once you have the juice concentrate in there, you're going to want to pour in your mix of your sugar water right into the funnel. That funnel is going to put it right into the jug. You let it settle, and then you go for cup number 2. Okay, so then once you have all of your water poured in, you're going to want to have a sealing device on top of your jug. I prefer the method of putting a very small hole in the cap of the jug to let the CO2 out, but not big enough to let air into it, and because that would let bacteria in. So you seal this off. And then it's gonna have to sit for between 10 to 14 days And after that, you should have some very delicious wine. I am giving online credits to the Iowa State, an article on the Iowa State webpage about the bacteria, a website titled homebeerwinecheese.com. They also inform me about some bacteria warnings with that, and I am also going to cite WikiHow for showing me this process. And that is how you make some homebrewed wine.